Hey everyone, welcome to day 3. In today's bonus video, I will be sharing about the link between depression and emotional eating. Now, why does depression and unhealthy eating flow together so seamlessly? Because, of course, the out of control eating is an attempt to feel better emotionally. Like I shared in the previous videos, emotional eating overall is really about using food to deal with negative or stressful emotions. But the problem with emotional eating as it relates to depression is the relief from eating really only lasts a few minutes, while the hopelessness of depression lasts long term unless consistent action steps are taken to transform the emotional state. Now, I am here to share with you today that this can be done. I've done it in my own life, and I've had clients that have also done it. I struggled with depression, and I was actually prescribed depression medication. And now, where I am today, I no longer struggle with depression, and of course, I no longer take depression medication. So I know that it can be done, except, of course, if you are struggling with very serious clinical depression, then I definitely do suggest that you stick with your doctor's recommendations on that. Now, what's interesting about depression, loneliness, and overeating is that most people think they are depressed because they are overweight or alone. They think that the depression is a result of being overweight and alone. Now, I believe that being overweight and feeling alone is really the result of depression. The feeling bad emotional state of depression drives the eating behaviors, isolation, and feeling alone. That loneliness trigger I spoke about in the earlier video, that's where this comes in. So, why does depression feel so much worse when we're alone? Well, it feels worse when we are alone because there is nothing going on to distract us from those negative thoughts and negative feelings. When you're out hanging out with your friends and doing something fun, it's really much easier then to get distracted from your depressive patterns of thought. Now, here's what most people don't realize. Unless you have a daily practice to transform those patterns of thinking that make you feel bad, you will not be able to break out of that state of depression. Antidepressants won't work either because they don't really address the thoughts that are creating the depression. They don't get rid of those negative thought patterns or habitual belief systems that you have that's going on that's creating the negative emotions. Now, here's what I've learned. Clients who struggled with depression, emotional eating, and weight were also struggling with a lot of negative self-talk, self-doubt, fear, hopelessness, anxiety, and oftentimes repressed anger. Now, I talked about the anger trigger in my earlier video, and really, oftentimes, repressed anger is really at the root of depression. Being unable to speak your truth, being unable to speak up for yourself. In order to begin healing depression and breaking free from emotional eating and ending that struggle that you're in with your weight, it must start with transforming the negative thought patterns, transforming the old beliefs and habits. And we can do this with a trained coach. By working with a coach like myself, who has a proven system for breaking free from emotional eating. We don't just talk about it. We work together to empower you with the tools and strategies to break free from emotional eating for good. Habitual beliefs and negative thought patterns cannot be transformed with pills, smoothies, the newest deprivation diet, or affirmations alone. They can only be transformed by first uncovering those thoughts and beliefs that are creating the negative emotions and taking consistent action to reframe them in a more positive way that is believable. Now, is this making sense? What I'm saying is that the solution to your depression and emotional eating is not some strict deprivation diet or pills. These are really just distractions. The real solution, the solution that works long term, is recognizing the thinking that's creating the negative emotions and taking consistent action to reframe those negative thought patterns. That is the solution. Unless you have a serious chemical imbalance, then absolutely you want to seek advice or medical help from your doctor. You want to start by becoming aware of what you are thinking, the thoughts that you're thinking that has you feeling so bad. Maybe you're having thoughts like, I'm a failure, I'm worthless, I'll never lose this weight. Maybe you're having thoughts like, no one cares about me, I'm a mess. Or maybe you've been unable to express your anger, or you've been unable to express your dissatisfaction in some area of your life. So what you do is you stuff those feelings down using food. Now, I know this because I've been there. I've been where you are. So I am really familiar with, the stuffing down, of anger, being unable to express my anger. Can you see now how this creates the depression that leads to emotional eating? These streams of negative habitual thinking, they actually run on autopilot because we've been having them for so long that we are no longer consciously aware of what we're thinking oftentimes. You've been doing it for so long, your brain has really put that negative thinking on autopilot. And what happens is then you become stuck in this rut of habitual negative thinking that creates the habitual state of negative emotions, which then leads to the habitual state of unproductive behaviors, emotional eating, drinking alcohol, and oftentimes in extreme cases using drugs, and just poor lifestyle habits overall. And so these then create the body and the life that you are living now. And they will continue, you will continue to live this way unless you make a decision to take action to work on shifting the negative thinking and doing things differently. Now, how would you feel if you were able to deal with the negative emotions without reaching for food to feel better? What if you could feel your negative emotions without spiraling out of control with food? I mean, just imagine how you would feel if you were feeling good about yourself and your ability to shift out of the negative thinking when it comes up. If you really want to take control of your thinking so that you can end emotional eating, then I invite you to schedule a discovery call. It's completely free. You can tell me what you're going through and what you're dealing with, and then we can decide if my program is a right fit for you. It is a 12-week program, a proven system to really empower you with the tools and strategies to master your thinking so that you can break free from the food, so that you can end the emotional eating and the depression that goes along with it. So if this resonates with you on some level, if you've experienced this or you are experiencing this in your life, again, I invite you to schedule a discovery call with me, and we can talk about what you're going through, and then we can decide if this program is a good fit for you. So I hope that this video series has served you in some way, and I hope that on some level you begin to feel empowered. You begin to feel like there is hope to break free from the struggle that you're in now and create a healthy lifestyle with clarity and confidence.